I'll let y'all watch. So I use timeanddate.com/world clock. This is always what I see as my countdown. Oh, I have some... You don't have to look at that. All my tabs open. But we have 9 seconds left. So this is always the most exciting part. Just like... And we are live. Normally I would click start recording, but I did it 10 seconds ahead of time to show y'all. So, yeah. Welcome. Oh, yeah. Welcome to a rare Monday D&Artistry. I have something special tomorrow, so during the evening. So I decided instead of not doing a D&Artistry this week that I would push it forward a day. So, welcome. Oh, is this what Monday looks like? Sober? Because I normally do D&Me like the drink on Monday. So yeah. It's very hot here in Atlanta. It was 99 degrees outside as I was doing some driving around for a side gig. And it's very hot. I don't have my fan on because that's just real loud. But even though our AC for the apartment is set to 72, then it is currently 78 because it can't keep up for days on end. It's not even Sunday or summer yet officially, but yes, hello, welcome, D&Artistry. I don't need here. Let me put that up instead. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some D&Artistry. I'm starting with a little project, just me. This will be something I was doing for the pre-show, but yeah, let me finish this real quick and then I'll just chat. Welcome, come on in. D&Artistry is where I do art for my show D&Me, but the past couple D&Artistries, no one has really shown up, so which is totally fine. I need to remind myself I'm doing this just for me. So, yeah, I'm going to do art for me. And then if anyone is in the chat, hello. If anyone's lurking, hello. I hope you are staying cool. I was contemplating on 2022 just being another weird year in a row. So I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you're cool. Pew, pew. Yeah. So I'm actually doing this because I'm contemplating just life and stuff. So this is a reminder for me. Let's see. Trying to figure out stuff. And I'm listening to the Beatles' greatest hits. So that's what I'm working on right now. Into your heart. Let me do. There we go. Bop. Yeah, so this past couple weeks I've been reflecting on this, that, and the other. And a lot of thoughts are coming up. And I'm processing through them, making hopefully some progress. What's a good color? This one will be Hey Jude. Great. So far, so good. That. Yeah, that looks the least amount of phallic, huh? All right, let's try again. Okay. Maybe if I... It's always phallic. Well, I don't want it to be phallic. Stop. Okay, we'll try just a couple more times. There we go. That's probably fine. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so what is this color? Now it's like uneven and stuff. Golly. I don't think these are Beatles songs I'm listening to. Shush. Is this him? Are they singing? I don't know. Apparently, I'm not a Beatles expert. There, maybe that's the least amount of phallic I can do. I don't mean to. And then, of course, outer glow. Okay. Cool. Okay. Now, let's do rainbow, because everybody loves rainbow. Well, no, let's do this instead. Boy, I don't think these are the Beatles songs that I know and love. So I'm just gonna not listen to that. That was okay. Okay. Oh, you haven't. Oh no. So tomorrow I'm doing a thing, and then Thursday, 16th I'm rewatching D&Me. 17th Friday I'm driving up to North Carolina. 18th spending a day. 19th driving back to 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. 25th. Let's see if they have anything. Oh boy. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So. Okay. Almost there. What am I doing? Okay. But I don't know, I'm not really saying anything, but all of everything said, I would rather be here doing art or anything related to D&Me instead of working a side job out in the Atlantan heat, which is just bonkers. Let's do this instead. So let's do this. Delete that. Put this behind it. And then make a beak. And then kind of just fill in this color. Cool. And this is kind of my week. So, yeah. Let's see. What else visually can I do? I know. We don't need the weeks that aren't alive. I should not merge everything. Why the hell not? Merge last. Now I can get rid of that first week. And heck, we don't need that second week. Let me... Golly, it's hot. Okay. Nice. So now, get rid of this. Get rid of that. That's what I said. Cool. So this is what my 2 weeks are looking like. Y'all, it's a very busy 2 weeks, and I have to remind myself that a lot of big stuff it is. So I'll just keep that. Put it to the side. For later stuff. Okay. 2 weeks. Yeah. So, with that, hi everybody. Let's see if anything is popping off in my D&Medias. That's my Facebook Messenger. This is Twitter. I got a couple likes on Twitter. Not saying that I'm a huge deal, but y'all, huge deal. Huge deal. I am tired. Okay, nothing really. That was Instagram, and now going on Facebook real quick. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, this is the third in a series of, hopefully the last, 3 out of 3. But I'm going through my D&Artistry Word document where I have all of my ideas for branding and merchandise here. So, yeah, let's see if I can... I say that, but it never ever happens. But let's see if I can get out by 8 so that I can go to sleep early. So, here, thank you, Past Victor. Before I figured out Photoshop and like I'm doing a screen share. Screen sharing with this laptop to that old laptop. This one has Photoshop. Then I used a program called Fire Alpaca, and I was like losing my mind that I didn't know any of the keyboard shortcuts, because for Photoshop I've had it since college, which I graduated in I started college in 2009, so that's 13 years. What? With Photoshop. So to honor Fire Alpaca and me not using it but thanking it for it being the experiment at the beginning, I want to create a creature, a monster called Falama, which is Flame Llama, which I think is a more Victor clever name than Fire Alpaca. Do I have it down here? Yes, I do. So well, here, let me do this instead. Falama. Beep, 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 beep. So what this is, you see right here, is... that drives me nuts. So eventually I want to maybe process and marinate and let all of my year of playing with myself settle, and I want to eventually publish like some of the character sheets I have for NPCs, or some stuff that I make, because my favorite stuff to see on TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game Twitter, is like people publishing their own stuff, and it's marvelous, and some of the art is extraordinary, and some of it's really well written, so I want to like pursue that. So I am coming up with my D&Me supplemental, eventually be a D&Me supplement like 5e or whatever the new one is, supplemental guide, D&Me manual, go through D&Me game notes for new monsters, NPCs, spells. For intro page, have drawings of Tipsy, Onyx, me, Rock, Toot, because I'm 5'8", so I'm right in the middle of 2'10", 5'1", 5'11", and 7'3". Include all my boys' character sheets, how we end up, which right now 3 out of my 4 are level 4, and one's level 6. NPCs, Photoshop a rat stat block for Waddles, level 4. So Waddles, I am building off of a regular rat stats block, so I want to make this better, because Waddles is a level 4 rat, so that's that, but he rolled for HP, and I want to give him different like features and traits and stuff. Make a whole Waddles page character sheet. Build out a stat sheet for Paige too. So Paige the Wordsmith, who is our bronze Dragonborn boy, because she's a sorceress and she does really cool stuff. Sub-race classes. So it's a lot of fun coming up with different races that you can play, playable races. Like Toot is a Loxodon, which was in the guide to Ravnica, Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which is based off of the Magic of the Gathering stuff. So that's a deep pull, but like half-orc and dwarf and forest gnome, etc. So I was thinking like make my own sub-race, like a mechanical woolly Loxodon. I know it was kind of brushed where Toot's DM Drew, he has some Loxodons, but I wonder if like I can introduce my own to D&Me or build my own stats for that. Each race, so when I do come up with that, then each race has 5 abilities, something unique to them or that they share with only a couple other races. So that's like I'm always trying to figure out racial traits and class features and background features, etc. Lol, half human because like we have half orc and half elves. Lol, half human. What's the other half? Everything's all. But for me, fantasy wise, everything's already so human centric as it is, and I'm like, come on. I really want to shy away from like playing a lot of humans because that's the least exciting race in Dungeons and Dragons, I feel, available. Suck you, Incubus, Cambion child as a race. So when we discovered that Saeth was a Cambion in 2 episodes ago, then 2 episodes ago? Yes, 2 episodes ago where everything popped off. We learned that a Cambion is the unholy union between a humanoid race and a succubus or an incubus. So I'm wondering if like we could make stats for that and then come up with 5 original unique abilities, racial traits. And then something interesting about the hags, because we've been dealing with the hags for this whole past the Restful Lily arc, is that as I was reading the large entries for the hags, then they had something really interesting. Monstrous motherhood. Hags propagate by snatching and devouring human infants after stealing a baby from its cradle or its mother's womb. Ugh. The hag consumes the poor child. Ugh. A week later, the hag gives birth to a daughter who looks human until her 13th birthday, whereupon the child transforms into the spitting image of her hag mother. Hags sometimes raise the daughters they spawn, creating covens. A hag might also return the child to its grieving parents only to watch from the shadows as the child grows up to become a horror. So I was like, well, that's interesting. And then I was like, well, hold on a second. I would be really interested in a story where it's like the preteen hag, but before she turned 13. And then is there a way to like rescue her or to make her good? So like that's an anime that I think is totally there. Let me write that down because that's fun. Anime. Yeah, I think that would be an awesome anime. Or manga. Which one's the comic book? Oh, shit. Manga, I think. But then it could turn into an anime. And then Netflix can mess it up in an adaptation. When my mom came on the show, for the D&Me extra for D&Mommy, then I labeled her Dodie, human mother, as a class. The race is human and then the class is mother. So I was wondering if I can make mother as a class. And then motherfucker as another class. No. All right. Yellow is in my notes, like game mechanics, specific game mechanics, and then blue is either branding or merchandise or posting or stuff like that. Because I was playing Skyrim, then I was wondering if we could have Dragonborn as a class, Skyrim class, and having the race be the D&D Dragonborn. So you can have a Dragonborn. Which will be fun. And again, the things that are blacked out are spoilers for D&Me, so that is why they're not there. D&Monsters, Spider Mimic. So I've shown you in D&Me in the early episodes the mimic that I made for the last game I DM'd in person, and it was like this treasure chest, but it's open up and then it has skeletons as like these spider legs. So I was wondering if someone in the TTRPG space, like I could commission that art to make it look like legit out of a campaign guide or something. So that's something I'm thinking about. The Beholder Beer Holder, TM, copyright, to come up with stats of that. I looked, and Beholder Beer Holder, there's like nothing on the internet except for one 3D model, which is beautiful. It's like a beholder holding some tankards. So I want to get it printed out, but I came up with it organically by myself. Just saying that. TM, copyright. Piglet. That is my bullet pig modification hybrid. So I want to get something like that. The Falama that I was talking about earlier, the Flame Llama, creature monster, fire alpaca. Falama, fire alpaca. That is episode 26 where I mentioned that. Shiny versions of animals, monsters, like Pokemon. What mechanical benefits lie therein? So Pokemon, if you don't know, you have all the regular Pokemon, and then there are unique versions of each of those Pokemon where the skin is different. So like it's sometimes the opposite color, like the composite adjacent color is next to it, but I think the opposite, I don't know. So like a green regular Pokemon might have a red shiny, for example. So those are like super, super rare. And in Pokemon Go, there's levels of rarity to them. But I was wondering if we could have that, and then you could apply the shiny trait to any monster in any of the books. And then, like, what would the shiny trait be? Shiny trait. Version/trait. Like, if you add the shiny mechanic to it, then it changes it slightly. Like, albino, maybe light sensitivity or something. And then Fey Armadillo, when my boys were hosting the D&Me, like the drink, then they talked about fairy armadillos and Fey armadillos. So make that into a cute thing. Spells, I have the Sealant Abjuration cantrip that I made to waterproof the chalk in Tipsy's Tavern, and I'm working on the wording of it. I've made one spell so far, which is awesome, but I had a couple other ideas, I think. Abjuration cantrip, and then I've never written a spell before, so this is all just me doing it, and then hopefully I can have someone on Twitter. I'm planning on going until episode 50 and then taking a break. So in that break, then I will reach out for professional TTRPG people to help me word stuff good. Casting time, 1 action or 1 minute. Range, 10 feet. Components, V&S. Duration, like 10 minutes if it's 1 action. If you do it for 1 minute, then it's an hour, or a way to do it permanently. Need help wording this and making it look pretty? Yeah. Transparent protection magic seals the surface of no larger than 1 cubic foot. The magic may be spent to cover 1 cubic foot for an hour, or 3 cubic feet for 10 minutes or something. The effects fade after 1 hour or 10 minutes. The spell may be cast multiple times. The magic is waterproof. The spellcaster may choose a matte or glossy finish, which I like. The spellcaster may choose to spend 1 action for a semi-permanent duration, or concentration for 1 minute, or for a more permanent duration. Sealant in all my notes. Make a legit sealant spell entry. Ask Twitter D&D artists for help to help me workshop it, etc. Adapt Dark Elves Drow Superior Dark Vision into a spell. So when I was reading over the races in the Player's Handbook, then the Dark Elves, or the Drow, they have this trait, one of the 5 traits, called Superior Dark Vision. And a large majority of the races in D&D have dark vision, which is you can see in darkness, you can see in dim light as if it was regular light, and then you can see in darkness as if it was dim light up to like 60 feet, and then after that, then it's darkness again. And it's an inside joke of all D&D where anyone who has dark vision, then the DM goes, so you enter a dark room, and then the player goes, but I have dark vision. It's like, yeah, but, well, it's magic darkness. Shut up. Sit down. So, dark vision is also a spell. So you can cast it on people that don't have dark vision, such as Toot Toot, for example. And then they have the effects of dark vision for a while. But it's so commonplace in the newer races, like in the races of 5th edition, that no one really uses it anymore. So I'm wondering if I can adapt Superior Dark Vision into a spell that no one will use. And then make more illusion spells, because when we go up in spell levels, then there's just a sudden drop-off of higher illusion spells that I want Rock to learn when he's all the higher levels. Because I was looking at that and I'm like, man, like all of the illusion spells kind of fizzle out. Items. Do you have a formula to create magical items? I will ask Twitter. White Claw, an ice version of a crawling claw. A crawling claw is like a zombie hand, like in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, where I was sitting on the pillow and then grabs onto Malfoy. No, Harry in the movie. Gazer helmet, +1 AC and other stats, because Onyx has his Gazer helmet. Have I been playing Onyx? Oh, that's a very good question. Have I been adding the Gazer helmet +1 AC to Onyx this whole time? Because as soon as they came into the Restful Lily, then Onyx has not been wearing that Gazer helmet actively, and I don't want to go, oh, well, he's been wearing it the whole time. Excuse me. And I've been drinking a lot of water to stay hydrated in this 99-degree heat here in Atlanta. So I'm going to use the restroom really quick. I know it's a half an hour in, but yeah. So I will be right back. And lo and behold, I am now back. So, 4-leaf clover, halfling luck. So in the episode Buzzed, which I think was 31, then Buzz the leprechaun was going to give Tipsy a 4-leaf clover that would act as a magical item. So I want to incorporate like halfling luck into it somehow. Heelys I came up with just out in the wild. That they're those sneakers with the wheel in them that kids used to wear. And then have them as heal, as in to regain hit points, and then give them to clerics. So that's funny. Drink recipes, because we've came up with some stuff like the the Feywild Chariot Bombs. Or Waterdeep Chariot Bombs or something like that. D&Meals. Mini adventures. So, like, when we get into it, then having one-page RPGs like Queso Quest. And, I should put that up there. Queso Quest. And then publish the Tipsy Drunk table, for example. Like I have the table that I roll off of every once in a while. D&Me supplement, how to play with yourself, couple page guide. So I have a lot of people that ask, how do you play Dungeons & Dragons just with one person? So I will give them some pointers of what I've learned in 42 episodes here. Queso Quest published Love Sucks as a Valentine's Day module, just a couple pages. I talked about it in... I'm pretty sure the D&Me that was Valentine's Night, but I came up with a one-shot where my players were vampires, so that was a fun. Designed the Love Sucks cards for Dig Dug Bullet, cards like in the back of Curse of Strahd. So there were a couple instances, every kind of side quest, every stop that they had to do in Love Sucks, then was accompanied by like a little Valentine's Day Hallmark card. So I will draw those. St. Patrick's Day mini days for the supplemental. So for Buzzed also, you had to roll to see. It was a drinking contest. So whoever did Constitution saving throws best. And rolling D20s in a matter of like 20 seconds. Like you just keep rolling like, an 8 and a 3, 1 and a 12. And so then however much you end up rolling at the end of 20 seconds, then you get that much gold. And then kind of same mechanic of in 20 seconds, you see if you can roll a natural 20. And then if you do, then you found the 4-leaf clover in a field of clover. So stuff like that. St. Patrick's Day minigames for supplemental. Let's go back to the top for here. So Bullet Bill. Bullet Bill is from Mario. And it's the bullet that comes out of the cannons, and it's kind of Pac-Man-ish. So having a bullet bill would be fun. So let's put that into simple art. Bop. Oh, right. I forgot Killjoy last time. Here, the Rock poster with Sheen and Rock. That's one of my funniest, well, I think one of the best references I've made. Where Sheen, inspired by Sean Connery, talks to our half-orc wizard, Rock. And so The Rock is their Michael Bay movie that they escape from Alcatraz. So that could be a simple. Where is Ice Age? Redo that. That could be... Yeah, that could be simple too. Well, medium. But along the same lines. Bop. All right. Here. I don't need to. So for my Valentine's Day D&Me special, then I had DJ Love. And that was a fun character that I was trying to do, but I was really tired that night, and as I was talking myself off from the ledge, then I kept reminding myself, like, I'm a hopeful romantic, not a hopeless romantic, and it was kind of sad streaming to very few people on Valentine's Day, and streaming to probably no one right now on a Monday. But it'd be fun to have like the radio promo logos where it's like 96.1 classic rock, like what you see. It was, radio stations had their heyday a couple years ago, to be generous, but they had some cool like stickers and branding and stuff, so that'd be fun. DJ Love. And then I thought if we do that again, then Toot Toot should be a host of like DJing fun. Oh, that would be cool. Like, if I do this again, host another one on Valentine's Day, then people suggest songs, and then he could add them onto, like, it could be like a live Spotify playlist. Have audience submitted songs, add them to a Spotify playlist live on air. That's cool. What a neat idea. So Bullet Valentine's card Dig Dug. So that goes down here with the supplemental stuff. Where is it? Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly Dig Dug Bullet Valentine's Day. Design the cards. Yeah. Okay. So I already wrote that down. Trying to clean this document. So that'd be fun. That would be simple to medium. Let's just have it medium, because it's a little involved. Then Spanish mustache Linktree joke. A lot of episodes ago, my Linktree, I was thinking having a Spanish mustache that I would design, and I tried a couple times, and it's just hard. And do like the Spanish mustache because he's my treant, and have like a tree joke, but kind of hasn't happened yet, so that could be advanced. My roommates are at home because I can hear them. But I normally do D&Artistry on Tuesday nights, so they don't probably know that I'm doing this. Tipsy's Tavern, Waterdeep's watering hole, printed on coasters and stuff. Inebriation inspiration, name of drink, Ale Deep Golden Ale drink. Yes. That I definitely super want to do. I do eventually want to have, when they open Tipsy's Tavern, hopefully, I would love for them to have coasters. Like, that'd be amazing. My Little Nightmare I just came up with, like My Little Pony, but Nightmare is a D&D monster where it's like a black horse on fire. So that was a cute little thing. And then Even Yes, Odd No. Make something out of that because that's one of the mechanics I use for playing Dungeons and Dragons with myself with just one person. So let's put both of those in simple art. Pop, pop. Even yes, odd no. Yeah. Organizing it all. Let's actually take the simple art, medium, and advanced, and super duper fucking involved, and then throw it down here so it's less to scroll through to find them. Bop. Okay, there we go. But yes, I super definitely want to do Tipsy's Tavern, Waterdeep's Watering Hole, which was a great subtitle suggested by my mom. So, Yawning Portal background interior. I've been saying that for months, that I should have something better for my background. I could maybe design my own blueprints. What's it called? Map? Of my Yawning Portal. Because from what I've seen, then the way my Yawning Portal is in my head is very different from like the official art and blueprints and stuff. So that might be cool. Stream starting soon. Okay, yeah, stream starting soon, and then like an animated bloop 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 of the ellipses afterwards, but having the ellipses instead of circles or periods would be my D&Me dice. Dwarven Bracers design line work, but better again, spell victorious or something. Tipsy's Dwarven Bracers design. So, Tipsy, I don't think we can see it a lot. Let me try and find Tipsy. Tipsy with his merch. That's funny. Tipsy. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, we can see it. So, his bracers, his dwarven bracers have a dwarven design on it that I made. And you can kind of see it, and it's kind of onyx. So, yeah, that's salvageable. I could take that and then kind of redo it. But, yeah, it's like geometric Art Deco, which I think is Art Deco and Art Nouveau. One is dwarves and one is elves, and I don't think I know the difference. Well, I don't know the difference. Okay. Tipsy's Tavern, Whoville. So I described a little bit where at the entranceway of Tipsy's Tavern, then when you're exiting out of the Troll Skull Manor, then Leaf has created like a very Whoville Bahu Dores where they're holding hands caricatures of my 4 boys, 2 on one side of the door and 2 on the other side. So as you leave, like you're kind of in that. So I should have... What did I click? I clicked something. All right. And then, inspired by the work of friend of the show, Ian Liano, who did Doctor Whoville, and that's one of their most popular designs for Ian Liano, and then the Geek Orthodox, which is one of his 2 stores. So that's very much the art that I'm thinking of. D&Artistry, rock with wishes perched on his shoulder. That would be cool, because I love that the fairy dragon has joined on this latest arc. So I like that visual. Rock eyebrows. So Rock, our half-orc wizard, does not have eyebrows. I figured out a couple of weeks ago, and this is already the official art that I don't want to make everything between when I first published the official art to like now. I don't want to make it obsolete or moot where I add eyebrows. So he just doesn't really have eyebrows, and I'm okay with that. For the movie adaptation, we'll add eyebrows and stuff, but rock eyebrows, I don't really know what to do with that note. But review all Redbubble stuff, yes, that is something I want to do to make sure prices are fair, and I need to go through and do tags and descriptions. I don't really know how to do that. But kobolds, add to the convex crimson background. So what we have for Spring Street Day, we have the convex crimson back here, which is very inspired by the Redbubble font and stuff. But I want to have my 3 kobolds like pressing their faces up against, or at least in the Redbubble. Pressing their faces up against would require a lot more art and work on my part. Look, I match. So I'm not going to do that quite yet, but Tipsy's Tavern D&Artistry, Tipsy's Tavern merch on coasters, Tipsy Passed Out art. Yes, all of these can be underneath Tipsy's Tavern inebriation inspiration. Let's actually have it right there. Bap. Minis for everyone. Bullet mini by minis of all the monsters we fought so far. So I'm keeping tabs of the monsters in like my own printed out monster manual and in all my notes. Come on, stop. Of all the monsters we've encountered so far. So in the perfect world with $100,000 and 4 other victors, then I would have all of the D&D minis of all the creatures we've encountered so far. So, for example, like the Were-Rat for Cleo, Algernon, and Remy. And then the Doppelgangers for Princess Misdirection or Bonnie. So, like, that's 2 out of 20 critters that we've encountered so far. So I would love to have like all of them, which would be really cool. D&Me postcards to leave at gaming bars and stores, and shout out to the stores that let me put it in them. Okay, but my mom came up with the idea of having like little postcards. I have a 1-page D&Me like PDF pitch. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Boom. Ba da da dum bum 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 bum. D. Bop. So this is it. This is the version as of 2 months ago. But D&Me, one man playing Dungeons and Dragons by himself. That's when I finished all my recaps, and this is who and what, and like a lot of cool stuff. So, episode 36, boof, that was 6 weeks ago. But yeah, so making like postcards of this. Making postcards of that and then leaving them in game stores, and like there's a couple cool ones here, like My Parents' Basement and Battle and Brew. So those are some cool nerd drinkeries, some bars and restaurants here in Atlanta, and then like comic book stores, gaming bars and comic book stores. And shout out to the stores that let me put it in them. All right. A good dragon/D&D bookmark as a starting reward. Etsy. Whoa, starting reward for like Patreon. Like print out your own. That's cool. I like that. Oh, I think I was meaning a good dragon D&D bookmark as a starting reward of me, Victor, starting D&Me. So this was one of the first notes I've ever made. And then I was thinking about looking on Etsy, but then I thought about designing my own because I would love to have a bookmark of my own design. But I have a lot of bookmarks and a lot of books right now. Some are just envelopes that I have lying around. Others are postcards that I have sent to myself. There's Touch Note, where if you want like to send people actual physical postcards that you make, then you can go on Touch Note, which is really cool. My dad did that a lot, and he commissioned art for me to help with that, so that was really great. So I used that as some bookmarks, but as a starting reward for Patreon, like level 1, you can get a lot of here, starting reward level 1 for Patreon. Print out your own. And like some of the other art I just have, like coloring pages and stuff. That'd be cool. These are physical items, so Bardic Inspiration Token, right in initiative order. So I have a Post-it note that I've had for the past like 6 episodes of Toot Toot having blessed Rock with Bardic Inspiration, and I seldomly remember, but I have a Post-it note, which is good. And I was thinking of what other like objects tactily that I could remind myself or something. So like I was thinking maybe a ring that I could just have it on my finger until I use it or something. A D6, but more when he levels up. So for the actual Bardic Inspiration, I could have like a D6 that is golden to match Toot Toot's golden music magic energy. And then have that with the dice that I would have for Rock. But I kind of switch dice every week, so I don't know if that'll work so much. And then more when he levels up, because when bards level up, then their D6 Bardic Inspiration actually grow. So a D8 and then a D10 and a D12, etc., etc. Double check. I could just double check that right now because I am setting the time aside to do that now. Let's look at classes. Let's look at bards. Let's look at the bard sheet. So, Bardic Inspiration. Your Bardic Inspiration die changes when you reach certain levels in this class. The die becomes a D8 at 5th level, so the next level up. A D10 at 10th level, and a D12 at 15th level. Cool! I thought so. So, yes. That is accurate. Nice! I was thinking that this would only last until 8 because, as normal, I'm tired, but I want to go through some more. Oh, I already went through like half of it because of half of it is like the D&Me supplemental stuff. So double check, yes. So D6, but more when he levels up. Then I don't need that question mark and the double check anymore. So demission a D&Me D3. After my first week in a cycle of 4 weeks, then I have my boys roll for the outro. So it's normal, Tipsy's 1, Onyx is 2, Rock is 3, Toot Toot is 4. But then after that first week, then that second week, week 2 out of 4, then I'm like, okay, so Toot Toot rolled, so last time. So now it's Tipsy, Ox, and Ronix. Onyx and Rock. So Tipsy's 1, Onyx is 2, Rock is 3, Tipsy's 4, Onyx is 5, Rock is 6. Or I could commission a D&Me D3 from someone like who would 3D print it or mold it or something, so that I could just go 1, 2, 3 and then roll it instead of dividing a D6 in half. So that was a thought. And then so for that first week 1 out of 4, then I could commission also a D4 with every face as a boy. So like have out of the pyramid, then I have one face that's Tipsy, one face that's Onyx, one face that's Rock, and one face for Toot Toot. So I could just go, all right, we're going to roll the D&Me die and then see. So that's cool. Again, $100,000, which I was considering my worth lately just because. And I think I should just get $100,000 right now because I'm worth it. And then every time I do a D&Me episode 43, for example, coming up in 2 days, that I should get paid $100,000 for that. And then every time I do like an additional stream, so a D&Artistry, a D&Me like the drink, when I stream off of PlayStation 5, then I should get another $50,000. I think that's approaching my worth. So that's something I thought about. So concentration, also for the Bardic Inspiration, like an object for me to tactily remember. But I have so many notes and so many things to remind myself that I think it'll get lost. But an object for like a die or on the spell slot, like a little clip or a ring to have on my finger. Yeah, ring to put on my finger to remember. Concentration object for Rock's other spells. So a lot of spells require concentration, which is like you concentrating on the spell, and then like if you start concentrating on something else, then that first concentration drops. Or if you take damage, then the concentration you have to roll to see if you drop it, etc., etc. So a couple times I've forgotten, and it's a hard thing to keep track of because a lot of spells have concentration. So for wishes, I was actually pretty good at it because either he's invisible or he had Rock's major image downstairs, or etc., etc. Set of dice with bones in it for Onyx. So there are sets of 7 polyhedral dice, which is the typical D&D dice that you use. It's a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D12, a D100, a D20. I think I got them all. And there's a lot of different lovely artists in the world that like make their own dice, and some put stuff inside the resin of making the dice. So like if you've seen the little rubber ducky ones, those are great. So I was thinking like if we could have tiny little bones, either like clay little figurines or something, bones like vertebra or femurs or whatever, or like bird vertebra or something tiny, so that we can put it in the thing. So I was thinking about that and like how cool would that be for Onyx. But my roommate actually got me a set of dice. Let's see. I believe this was as a like, hey, we finally moved in present. She got me some dice that I've shown before, but these have like skulls. So these are like mirroring. These are inspired by the Parisian catacombs where they have like actual skulls and stuff underneath. So here's a good we can see like the skulls. Each of those little dots is a skull with like eye holes and nose holes and stuff, which is creepy. So like Onyx kind of got his bone dice. So that was something. I was like, oh, well, that worked out well. I have not tested these dice out yet. That they're in their own Taco Bell cup to be sorted, to see if they are balanced. And then when I confirm that they're balanced, then I will add them to the normal rotation of dice that I have. So a set of dice with bones in it for Onyx. Commission a set of D&Me dice eventually. Oh boy, that'll be cool. Like orange color, and then have for the 20, for the D20, then of course my D&Me logo, which will be awesome. Eventually, that will definitely happen. Achievement enamel pins. Come on. What? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Achievement enamel pins. Make a list of achievements we've done so far. That is one of the very first things right here. Yep. For super duper fucking involved. So, make a list of achievements we've done so far. Which is like Fayday Mayhem and finding the doppelgangers. We found all the members of the doppelgang now. So, here was a pretty good introduction to D&Me Supplemental. But write a book, maybe, when I process and like after season 1 or season 3, 4, 5, however D&Me ending up. But write a book after D&Me, a year of playing with myself, and then having the drink recipes, and then half autobiography, half campaign guide. So, like, I'm playing around with the form because I was going to I was going to say Blockbuster, but a Barnes & Noble that was closing, and it was like the carcass sale, where you can pick the corpse clean, and there were some autobiographies, and I was looking at them, and they have great covers, and I was like, wow, what would mine be? And I'm like, well, recently, for this past year, for 2021 and 2022, for Victor's year 30 on this earth, then like a D&Me autobiography, and then have the campaign guide shuffled in, and like the supplemental. So that's cool. How a one-man Dungeons and Dragons show did something, and I think how it might be a little spicy to have, as the title or the subtitle be a year of playing with myself, which is a very funny joke, and I'm always very glad I do it. But, oh, wow. Yeah, we did a lot of pages. Oh, man, we're almost done with this. Yay, because, like, I feel bad having something last a couple episodes. Like, The Restful Lily, that's a lot of episodes. It was a 6th. And now it's like it was a 7th, I think, and now it's creeping into a 6th of the D&Me whole show. But I'm enjoying it, so queso quiz. Go through my Critical Role fan art folders. So Critical Role did, like, if you did fan art, then they would pick some and then have it in their intermissions, like, when they took their break at hour 2 or whatever, then they would have just 15-20 minutes of fan art from people. And so then I would occasionally, when I'm watching it versus listening to the podcast version, then I would watch the fan art and then screenshot my favorite bits, especially some of my favorite artists that did recurring art, which is lovely. And then I put it in a folder for Critical Role fan art for artists that I can list in. If I had money, I would commission D&Me art from list, Critical Role commissions. So for my favorite artists of those, then I do want to, like, I love supporting artists. I never ever have money to support artists. So part of my goal is like when I do make $100,000 for my worth, then Like, I would love to commission my favorite artists and people I see on Twitter all the time. Really embrace the TTRPG because, you know, when people ask for $20 for a piece of art, then sometimes I like to tip them. Like when we did Farwin, when they did art for the show, like it was a certain amount, and then I tipped them a little bit more, and so they're like, "Oh, well, I will add color now. Thank you." Yeah, I really try to do that. My dad is a huge inspiration for that, where, you know, like, tip people well. For like haircuts, for example, I haven't had to do that for a while, so I saved up, you know, thousands of dollars not getting haircuts. But for artists, tip them well, because like that shows huge appreciation for their work and gives them value and reflection of their worth. So, man, yeah, just a lot of good stuff. Make a list of whoever replied to Twitter art writing plea March 12th. I think on March 12th I asked Twitter, like, hey, who loves writing D&D stuff? And so a couple people replied. And artists in screenshot folders on both laptops. Yep, I have many folders of many screenshots that I've taken over many years that I need to go through. For example, I haven't cleaned out my phone's pictures since like September. That's like 10 months. That's a little after I started D&Me. So it's yes, so many things. So many things on so many burners. Almost done. Let's see. Yeah, I just have like a page left. Let's go. Let's do it. So go through D&Me image folders and delete or put PDS documents in a separate folder. Oh, I kind of did that, but I can do that more thoroughly. Yeah, because I have a folder on my desktop that's D&Me images, and then I put the Photoshop documents in them. And so sometimes when I just want to do a quick search, then they muddy it up a little bit. So when I do come up with how to do sticker sets and do different coaster stuff, then may I recommend a nice set of stickers, or perhaps a collection of fine pins? Do pins of everyone post. I don't think anyone's bought any pins. Like, stickers is great. They're some of my best sellers on Redbubble on the Convex Crimson, but I don't think anyone's bought any pins. And I think they'll be cool for like lanyards and stuff. Oh, a D&Me lanyard. D&Me lanyard. How do I make lanyards? Oh, and pass those out at cons. Pass them out at cons. With the postcards. That's great. How do I make a lanyard? How do I make a D&Me lanyard? I will leave this in this document instead of writing into my notes, because it'll be redundant if I write it in my notes as well. Can I make sticker sheets of my boys, my die logo, and boy variants? Like, for Redbubble, I would like to have like a normal like piece of paper size sticker sheet that you can buy, and like it'll have a bunch, like 5 to 10 designs on it. So you don't have to spend 5 to 10 times $2.17 for the amount of stickers. Like, I'm thinking bang for buck, which is the oldest profession in the world. No, Victor, stop. Contest for goodies. So I was thinking, like, these are a lot of notes of when I was trying to make D&Me, courting it as my full-time job. But it just kind of, it's a very, very good hobby, but it's so much work to make a video show, like a Twitch show, and then making Twitch a full-time job, and then editing it into a podcast. So I'm asking myself what all of that means and what it all entails. But like a clever way to get more followers and like to have it spread and comment and like and subscribe and stuff is by having contests where you have 50 people sign up for the contest, and then you like I would have some stuff from the Redbubble that's inexpensive for me to get, and so then I can send it to them. And so some of these ideas would be good contest for goodies. Redbubble. Come up with tags across the board. Yeah, I read that earlier. D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, more D&D tags than what it actually is. Yeah, so, like, with Baby Yoda, Grogu the Child, and Star Wars, then I can't label it as Star Wars for people to find it on Redbubble, because then it was flagged and going, hey, you can't do Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, there's plenty of Star Wars stuff on Redbubble, thank you very much. So you need to be careful of what you tag it as, so that, like, could people find it on a search thing? Like Dungeons and Dragons is more acceptable than, like, the marketed, branded Star Wars. I don't know. Is there any way to have different designs on the coasters? Yeah, so I talked about this earlier, but for my coasters, you can buy a set of 4 coasters all with the same design on it, but I have 4 designs that I would like on each individual coaster, so I'm wondering if it's like a different website. Like, I think I know koozies would have to be ordered from a different website because Redbubble doesn't do them, although that would be really cool, Redbubble, if you can figure that out. I should email them, but they're not going to listen to, hey, do some coasters. Or koozies. Merch of all 4 boys. I've had that note for a while. A couple people asked for that. I'm trying to figure out how to best do it on, like, t-shirts and stuff. So it's always, I think about it a lot, so I promise. Figure out travel mugs and water bottles. So having the regular coffee mug was fine. Like, if you this is like a separate design, so I just need to alter it for travel mugs because they're kind of wonky and I don't know. And then a water bottle on top of that, just a million different things. That's why I have an 8-page document instead of it all going in my head. It's kind of like the pensive for Harry Potter. Like, I put all my Dean merch thoughts into the D&Artistry Word document. So get D&Me pillowcase or orange pillowcase or something, because I have this pillow that I got at Goodwill, and it's been my back pillow for months. But, well, it has that orange stripes. It has some orange stripes, but it would be better branding-wise and just aesthetically of having my logo on it or the boys or something. But getting a pillowcase is expensive, so, or like an orange pillowcase or just an orange pillow, but I'm used to the shape of this on my back, so again, $100,000 and like 4 weeks of the world paused so that I could just do everything. That'd be, oh god. Clock stoppers, time stoppers. That Disney Channel movie. Hold on, let me look. This is very important. Clock stoppers, 2002. Yeah, let's look at this for a second. Clock stoppers with Jesse Bradford and French Stewart. I remember French Stewart. Oh god, this movie ruined me as a kid because I was like, I was 11, and I was like, if I could stop time and do stuff, like, what would I steal? What would I do? Who could I prank? Oh, boy. Ruined me as a kid, because I'm like, okay, when people are like, oh, do you want invisibility or flight? I'm like, no, I want to stop time so that I could get everything I want and not get in trouble. Oh, well. Rock's heliotrope, if you were wondering what the hex code of that is, it's E3A9F8. Onyx's blood red blood is C0C0Z0. So there you go. All right, and then my last little 2 bits, and then we're done with my D&Artistry notes. Amazing. For right now. I probably have more in other folders and other Word documents and other notes, but yay. Skyrim. When I was playing Skyrim as Kit Kat, the Tabaxi, the Khajiit, then some of my notes are that I want to print out the hero forge that I made of Enchi, which was my first Skyrim character. It's the one that I completed 99% of all the achievements except for Legend, where I have to defeat a legendary dragon, which only spawned at level 78, and I was level 52, and I didn't want to level up 26 times because I was burned out by that game by that point after playing it for 2 months straight. But I made a hero forge of Enchi, so I want to print her out with $100,000 to honor. And then when I do get level 78 dragons spawning, then I will bring her out, and then as a full circle, like what's it, like ending her journey. So that'll be fun. Nord with the sword, and then Khajiit in the hat. I think Snoop admin, Twitch user, or no, I think it was Snoop. I asked, Snoop was watching my stream, and so we were talking about Skyrim, or maybe it was Skyrim 2 Ys and 3 Ms. But I asked what they played, and so they said Nord with the sword, and so I said, oh, that sounds like a Dr. Seuss. So it'd be fun to do Dr. Seuss style art of Nord with the sword and Khajiit in the hat. If the children have coin, then Khajiit in the hat have wares. And then Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 5 is Skyrim, so I'm wondering, I think that one was Skyrim 2 Ys 3 Ms, was telling me that there is a little bit of information about the next Elder Scrolls out there, but I would have to find it. I think they're really putting all their efforts into Elder Scrolls Online, which is a MMO, which is massive multiplayer online stuff. And that's where all the money is right now. So World of Warcraft, for example, and others. So yeah, Elder Scrolls 6. And then since Khajiit is a cat, then I thought about all the fun cat stuff that we can make, like Meow Mix and Fancy Feast, and for D&D merch, and then Khajiit, Cat the musical, etc., etc. Kit Kat brand / candy wrapper. Kit Kat is my favorite candy, so like having that design, like I have a whole D&Artistry to just making Kit Kat merch. Quick save, because I quick save a lot in Skyrim. Then find the Skyrim font and do something fun with the quick save. And then right before I do Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the D&Me die logo mug 3 hexagons. So for this, it kind of, I don't know, something about it looks just a little bit funky, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And like that isn't, like, this is straightforward, but the die is just slightly off because of this white strip right here, just because they can't print that. So I was wondering if like I adjust this a little bit to make this centered so that it's a whole like 100% straightforward instead of just slightly off. And then there's this whole side that doesn't have a D&Me die on it. So I was thinking, should I have just 3? 1, 2, 3, so that you can like, oh, look, there is the die, and then there's the die, and then there's a die. Because now it's front and back, but how cool would it be front, side, back? Just one of the 10,000 things I think about for this show. But last but not least, Tina's Wonderlands, what I tried to stream earlier, but it always kicks me back to the beginning of the campaign, which is not good. Really flupping figure out the Twitch tags. So Twitch tags right now, you can have 5 tags for every Twitch stream that you do. For my D&Artistry tag, I have the category is art, because that's what we do. Like I do Photoshop sometimes and coloring all that in. The tags, I can have 5. So I have design, graphic design, illustration, chatty, and chilled for D&Artistry. But for D&Me, I have persistent campaign because it's a long-running campaign. Good characters instead of, like, morally good instead of evil murder hobos, for example. Dice, because that, like, Dungeons & Dragons, you have dice. Roleplay, which D&Me is very roleplay. And then voice acting, because I have made almost 90 characters in D&Me so far. My 4 boys, and then, like, almost 95... nope. My 4 boys, and then almost 85 NPCs, which is bonkers. And amazing. So, when I stream just the video games, like Skyrim and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and others, then what tags are those? Like achievement hunting, because I like doing achievements 100%. And I don't really know. That's why I need to really flipping figure it out. But for D&Me like the drink, then that is behind the scenes and campaign planning. Or was that? Yeah, campaign planning, and then like chatting and chilled and stuff. So my character for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is a non-binary, like cosmic Genasi kind of, Earth Genasi, which kind of is Ashton, which is Taliesin Jaffe's character from Campaign 3 of Critical Role. Like, I was thinking about it more after I made them, and I was like, there's a lot of similarities there, but a lot of differences also. But because they're like a space-inspired comet, then I named them Meteor, because they're also real big and beefy. So the class would be fighter, and so then I think Earth Genasi, or maybe a Space Genasi, because there's like Earth, Water, Fire, and Air Genasis, but also Spelljammer is coming out, and Spelljammer is a D&D in space, and that's one of Dungeons & Dragons Wizards of the Coast's newest products coming out in like August. So like a Space Genasi. Whoa. That's amazing. Spelljammer. And with Spelljammer, I think they have some new races like GIF, which is hippokin, like Loxodon is elephant folk. So a GIF, and then like a cretin, which is like a bug, and then a plasmoid, which is like an ooze, and then an auto gnome or something, which is like a mechanical little gnome, and then like a space elf. I think those are them. Good job, Victor. Oh, and then a monkey, like a simian. Wow, I'm quite proud of myself for remembering that off the top of my head. So, like a Space Genasi would be cool as fuck. But Meteor would be a fighter. And then Bunkers and Badasses at the beginning of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Then, of course, they heavily reference Dungeons & Dragons. So their version is Bunkers and Badasses. And they have like an actual book that they sell. I don't know if they still sell them, but it's called Bunkers and Badasses. So I'm wondering if that is 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. So while I was playing Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and streaming it, then I kept going, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And I was like, what is that? What is that song? And so after a while, I figured out that is Your Body is a Wonderland song by John Mayer. And then they have some mini unicorn loot crates. So like these chests that have Queen Butt Stallion, Princess Butt Stallion, like a unicorn head and like some cool spikes on it. Then I said on the stream, like, oh man, if anyone were to make those, just like a mini one I could have on my desk, I would totally buy it. So, totally buy. Yeah, right there on like Etsy and some. More nerdy cozies. I need more nerdy koozies. Like I have 3. One is like a cool tie-dye one of a beer festival here. One is a cool Phoenix brewery also, but then one is Felix Felicis, which is the luck potion in Harry Potter. And I need more. I need more variety, more choice. I need a D&Me koozie. I need a Tipsy the Forest Gnome Rogue koozie to go along with my Tipsy the Forest Gnome Rogue coasters and stuff. So, etc., etc. D&Me die logo, please stop. Loud cars, just... Okay. Almost done. For my D&Me die logo, then I have it on a pumpkin for Halloween, and then on a ornament, like design-wise, on a drawn ornament for the winter holidays for December. But I was thinking of other holidays of like having it on a orange shamrock, 4-leafed clover for St. Patrick's Day, and then like on an Easter egg for Easter. Because now I just have 2 holidays on my Redbubble, and that looks kind of silly. So I'm thinking about what other good ones, like maybe on a birthday cake for anyone's birthday. That's not bad. And last but not least, I was thinking of emotes, because I just have the one, and let's pull it up right now. It's Skiing, my very good Kobold handling. Oh, well. I was trying to click enter in order to do it, but it keeps... Okay, let me click that for the chat. Maybe? Perhaps? If you would be so kind. What's happening? There it is. There's 19 skins in the chat. Skin. So you can find that by clicking D&Me, AD, capital S, skin with 3 eyes. So you can look that up, and that's my skin logos. That's my emotes. But I was thinking of other emotes because I only have the one. And like having Rock looking up the rules would be good, like because he's the book nerd. And like Tipsy, I want as like the everything's on fire Elmo one, and then like Toot Toot winking, and then Onyx going no. But that's all I got. So thank you so much for watching, if you were watching. It's good to talk all that out. I came up with new ideas and stuff. So, okay, I'm done. I'm done for tonight. So, thank you very much. I'll just like, that's the title card for tomorrow. Thank you, and I hope you have a great life.